Okay, so now we're ready to put in our LED, which stands for light emitting diode, and that is this little doobie whacker here. Now that's a yellow one. I think I have orange ones, red ones, green ones, and I might have blue ones, but I'm not sure. But anyway, whichever colour's there, you can choose out of the colours. They all work pretty much the same. So what I need to do is I need to cut two wires that are going to go from where my printed circuit board sits on my backboard to my hole for my LED. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to just do one LED. If you have two LEDs on your design, you come and see me and I'll show you how to do those later. But at the moment we're just going to do one LED, and then I'm going to add the second LED in after I've made the whole thing. Okay, it's a little bit more complicated with two LEDs, so I'm just going to show the one for the time being. I estimate how long my wires need to be. Now I've written on my diagram here to cut yourself some 15cm long wire. It doesn't necessarily have to be quite that long, and what I've done with my side cutters is I've cut myself two pieces of wire here that are going to go onto my LED. I need to strip the insulation off the end of the wire, so just the wires are exposed. I've done that on 3 of them. I'll show you how I do it on this one. You can do this with wire strippers. They are actually the perfect thing to use. I don't have any wire strippers at home, however, so I'm just going to use a pair of side cutters. And if you're quite skilled at this, you can use the side cutters to cut through the insulation carefully without breaking the wire. You just kind of crimp it without cutting all the way through, and you pull your insulation through. Okay? If you can't do this, it's okay. We do have wire strippers at school and you can use those. Once you've done that, I want you to grab the end of the wire and just twist it around. So the wire is twisted like that and not frayed all over the place. Twist it, twist it, twist it, and twist it. Okay, I'm going to solder it to my LED first. So you have the two legs on the LED. What I want you to do is just spread them apart a little bit so it's a bit easier to do that. Just twist your wire around each one of the legs on the LED. Once we've twisted it around the wire, around the legs on the LED, then we can solder that in place. Okay, actually this one I'm not twisting. Okay, this is where my third hand would come in very handy to hold that LED while I solder it. That's one. And 2. Okay, easy peasy Japanese. Now, what you'll see on your LEDs is that one of the legs is shorter than the other one, and that shorter leg also has a little flat on the actual LED. There's a little flat side on it, and that corresponds to the shorter leg. It's very important that you realize that, because the short leg and the long leg actually have to connect to different holes in your printed circuit board. It's not like a regular light globe where you can flip over any of the connections and it works just fine. An LED, the electricity will only flow one way through it. So check with your diagram, turn your printed circuit board around the right way so you're looking at it the way it is to your diagram. On your diagram you'll see that the short leg goes into one of the holes, so I get my short leg, I follow the wire through and I figure out that it goes into this hole right here, and that's why we need to twist this around so I can actually get it through the hole. So that goes into this hole here, Okay, unfortunately I had a phone call on my phone which just stopped the camera at the time, and we were in the process of actually putting the wire in the correct holes. Okay, so we've twisted the wire, we've worked out with our short leg, okay, our short leg on our LED where the flat is and which hole that has to go into, and that's this one over here. So I'll see if I can pop it in there again. Okay, and I will put that in the hole all the way, bend the wire back and solder this in place. Now I already actually soldered this one once. We didn't realise that the camera had stopped and I did all the soldering beforehand. So I've had to pull it out and redo it. Okay, that's that one. And then we take the long leg and we see which hole that one's got to go into. Pop it in there, bend it over, and we'll solder this one in place also. Again, because there's already solder on there, I don't actually need to grab my solder and add more solder onto it. I just need to melt it and it just joins up again. Just redo this one a little bit better. And there we are. Now what we need to do is we just need to cut off our excess wire. And there we go. Just be careful that you don't have solder joining these two bits here. If you do, you'll create a short circuit, okay? So on your circuit board where there's supposed to be a gap, just make sure there is a gap. And now we have our LED soldered in place along with our battery snap and our buzzer and our 3 components. Okay, thank you.